Hey, brother, what's going on?
All right, you there?
Yep, can you hear me?
Oh, shit. I had everything on mute. Should be good to go.
Yep, now I hear you. Can you hear
I
me?
yeah, I think your gain's a little high
All right, hold
or
on.
something. 'Cause it's real loud, and I can hear myself a little bit and some background noise.
Oh, okay, hold on. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't know why that keeps happening now.
How's my sound?
No, you sound perfect, man. How about
Cool.
now?
Yep, much better.
Okay, cool. All right, sweet, man. See, I could hear my computer firing up too. I don't know why that's going on.
That must be that must be that background noise, some fan or something.
Yeah, the computer
It's not.
fan
I mean, it's
is.
not too terrible. They
Yeah,
can hear us on YouTube. Hey,
oh, they
YouTube.
can. All right, hey guys, good morning. Yeah, I don't know why the fan's doing that. We'll get started in a second, guys. This is the background stuff you guys get access to, huh? All right.
Behind the
Cool, man.
scenes.
Yes. All right. Let me get
This
ready
was
to go
supposed to be
live.
on our greatest hits. This was supposed to be a bonus track on our greatest hits album, but sorry, we got it out too good,
Yeah. All
too
right. Let me go
fast.
live in the chat room here.
All right.
We'll get this started. All right. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the pre-market show. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Can't complain.
I can't see your smiling face though.
Oh, here we go. Let's turn that on.
There you
There we
go.
go. All right, guys. Good morning. We had a pretty interesting day yesterday. Let's go over some of the top highlights that we had over on our watch list yesterday. So we had VXRT was on our list. This one was again, it was actually very nice right off out of the gates, guys. You had a beautiful pop here for play towards the top here, long position, open range breakup was beautiful. Just a lot going on here that looked great. And then you get this amazing short towards the bottom, guys. So look how beautiful this was here. Loses the VWAP, and you got a beautiful drop here that just continues to if you were able to get in here early VWAP or even loss of the low of the pre-market. Oh, hold on a second. Let me get you guys the 5-minute chart so you can look at that. Here we go. It's a little bit better. So right here, guys, you can see how beautiful this was. Look how well these levels played out too. Again, low of the pre-market at 1024. We broke through that right at the first candle. A lot of buying pressure though drives us all the way up here. Then it cannot hold. It comes to VWAP, no support here. Here's the indication that this thing is weak. You see this drop here. Obviously, people are waiting here to go back long towards the high of the day. The minute this thing cannot hold the VWAP, look at the drop here, and then now the VWAP becomes resistance. Right, we've seen that quite a bit. Comes back up here, cannot break through that, and then look at the beautiful drop here, all the way down. Breaks the low of the pre-market, the low of the pre-market as well. Breaks the low of the day, and then drops even further. So again, a beautiful play here on VXRT. You have so many opportunities here. Also, then beautiful reversal, right? You see the reversal happening here, back to VWAP. This time, resistance breaks above that, retests that resistance, and then goes long. So again, just a beautiful play. This thing had amazing volume throughout the entire day too. So great action there in VXRT. ABUS, this was very active right at the open too. Pretty wild here to try to take a trade. So again, you had a drop, you had a pop, not quite an engulfing pattern here. You kind of get a hesitation around the VWAP. Then it takes off again, comes right back down. After an hour or so, this thing really settles down and becomes a beautiful short right to the low of the pre-market. Again, this low of the pre-market, guys, is very, very important level, and the high of the pre-market as well. So you tested it right at the open here. Once again, a couple of minutes later into the market open, and you can see this time it cannot hold it, punches right through it, becomes resistance now, and then look how beautiful this thing drops after that and to the next level, which was the previous day low here. So again, beautiful thing happening here. Look at how important volume is as well. When you have volume, things are moving very well. VXRT had volume the entire day. This one here started losing the volume here. Look how crappy it gets, right? This is when it becomes real bad trading. So you see the volume completely drop off off here. This is why we're always saying how important volume is to the type of style that we trade. NKLA, another one as well that took off nicely here, was a pretty wild the first candle. The second 15-minute, 10-minute candle will become really good here. Possible play towards the long side. The issue with NKLA is just it's so unpredictable to read the price action. Very, very tough. You can see a beautiful pop, and then kind of gets a few rejections on here, right back down to the VWAP, loses the VWAP, right back up. Here starts getting, again, just a little bit choppy. Again, look what happens. We're losing a lot of volume. A little bit comes in later on around 1 o'clock or so, 2 o'clock, but for the most part, you lost a lot of it here. But again, NKLA, if you're able to read this action, I had it on watch, but man, it is not an easy stock to trade, I'll tell you that much. DKNG was amazing. Now, let's talk about the pre-market action, right? I was having a great conversation with some traders yesterday, and we're talking about, getting above this 38 level here, right? Because the price action was here at the pre-market. It looked like this thing wanted to break out of this range, but instead we got a perfect rejection, right? So these levels, guys, doesn't mean that it's always going to break through it or going to reject it. You never know what's going to happen. What you do know is at these levels, you're going to have some kind of change in direction, continuation, or increase in volume. You know that's going to happen for sure. In this case, we get a beautiful rejection. Look at the pre-market action, how well this thing traded. Try to get above this 39.20, could not do that. Beautiful drop here towards the market open. That continues here. Obviously, you're going to have a pullback, because this is a nice big drop here. After several candles of a drop, you are going to get a pullback. You do get that here towards a little bit above the high of the day, cannot hold, and then look at the drop right back to the low of the day. And again, the low of the day also a very important level. Also as the pre-market low, you can see that here, 36.77. And then look at this beautiful drop after that. An amazing drop here. Then you got this really wild candle here. People obviously
that was insane. We're on the mic, and Benzinga Squawk came on and said that Sports Center had tweeted out that the baseball season had been canceled. And then it dove like $3 in a matter of 30 seconds. And then they said, correction, that seems to be from a not legitimate Sports Center account, and it just shot right back up, and that was that big tail right there. It was absolutely nuts.
Yeah, fortunate if you were short here, unfortunate if you're trying to get a reverse on me. That is just insane there. It's again, this thing, even before this guy's traded very well, and if you were short, you got this nice little blessing here, and this nice little opportunity, so hopefully you took some profits out. Again, then later, you can see here the volume dies down, and then it starts becoming a crappy trade, right? Very difficult to trade. Here's AMD. AMD yesterday was just not clean, guys. I don't know about you, but again, it was very difficult to trade. Just look at this 5-minute chart, how it's trading. Again, a couple of quick plays you were able to take out, but if you're looking at the 5 for any type of strategy, there was none. I couldn't find it. And you saw that here, how difficult it was. Eventually becomes a short, but look at the way these wicks are being formed. It was just not clean at all yesterday. So again, a tough time there. Let's talk about TSM, because our trade of the day is on TSM. And again, pre-market was great. Didn't trade as great yesterday as it did the day before. The day before, we had an amazing trading here. But again, not as clean yesterday. But our trade of the day, let's go to that now, is on TSM, and this goes to Mike. Mike, amazing trade here. So this is the member trade of the day. He took this, and let's talk about his strategy here, which is actually pretty good. He stuck to his numbers, stuck to his guns here. He got in long. He added into strength here on the way back up, and you can see, man, this move after he goes in the second time. I'm shocked that he didn't take no partials here. His plan was, hey, I'm going to get to this level up here, and that's the high of the pre-market high of the day, I believe, for the push, and that's what he stuck to. Look at this pullback that he held through, coming right to his entry. I mean, I would have been probably I would have been crying right now if this thing would have came back that much. But again, he stuck to his plan. Look at his charts here, his indications, and it worked out perfectly. So beautiful trade here on TSM, a stock that we usually do not trade. But again, an amazing trade yesterday, so good job there. All right, guys, let's get over to the market pulse, see what's going on here with the SPY for today and also the rest of this week.
Yeah, so SPY sold off a little bit overnight, down just over 1/3%, so nothing too crazy. All the sectors are down with the exception of healthcare and real estate. Speaking of real estate, you've got the National Home Price Index coming out at 9, and then at 10, you've got Consumer Confidence Index. That's pretty important. Fed starts their 2-day meeting today, the FOMC. that'll be released, or their decision on rates will be at 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. There is, of the people surveyed of what they think is going to happen, 100% think there's going to be no action on interest rates. So nobody's expecting anything there. I can't imagine they're going to do anything. They're not going to raise rates, and I don't see them going negative anytime soon unless they absolutely have to, and that's not at this point. 2:30 tomorrow afternoon, Jerome Powell will then have his press conference. I've spoken my mind on that, how he usually affects markets. So that's tomorrow. And then first read on second quarter GDP is on Thursday. Should be interesting, along with some other data. So a slew of data coming out. Earnings, huge earnings this week. We've got like 40% of the NASDAQ 100 index market cap is reporting after the bell on Thursday. Facebook was supposed to report Wednesday, and then I believe it's Apple, Amazon, and Google were all reporting after the bell on Thursday. Well, Mark Zuckerberg's testifying before Congress on Wednesday, so they had to push it to Thursday. So now it's just massive, ridiculous earnings Thursday night, and we'll see. Should be interesting.
Yeah, it definitely should. Let's get to our gappers list, guys. We had actually a pretty decent sized list this morning. Nothing too big here today. We have a half and half, basically gapping up and down this morning. Let's start with what's up today. Let's remove what we had here yesterday. Let's make some room, and let's look at Soho. See what's going on there. All right. Okay, so here we go. 31 million shares flow at SOHU. This one, it is up 13% right now. Had a big day yesterday. Let's take a look at that. Action just really happened right at the open. Then after that, didn't really do much the entire day. Volume pretty light. So I'm not liking what I'm seeing as far as the daily, although this is a 30 million shares flow. Just look at the volume on the most part. Again, big day yesterday, possible continuation today. Pre-market is a little bit all over the place. It does not look like a foreign company, but it does look like a type of stock does not trade very well.
It's a Chinese
okay, all right, so yep. that makes sense. Again, it just doesn't look great, guys. I'm gonna skip on this one. Again, they had a big day yesterday, most of that happening right at the open, and then from there it just gets pretty crappy into the rest of the day. So I'm gonna skip on this one. Let's look at TCOM next. This one at the moment looks like a buyout. Trip.com, but I'm not sure if that is a buyout. It's probably earnings, Norm.
No, it's this one is a Chinese travel company. I'm not really seeing anything on them that's fresh, so I don't know what's going on. It just doesn't look like a good chart to me. So
yeah, doesn't look great at all, guys. And overall, I mean, doesn't trade well. Look at the daily, a little bit all over the place. We have looked at this one before. I don't think we actually ever traded it. But right now, pre-market, this looks like a buyout. I'm not saying it is because we don't have any info on it. But again, not the best pre-market chart that you want to have on your list here. So we got good volume. It is up nicely. Not sure how this is going to trade. We'll do this. We'll keep it here as a very light possible, just to see if anything pops up that we can have some play on it. VXRT, again, amazing trade yesterday. Found a bounce. The stock has been getting pounded over the last couple of days, guys. I mean, it's been pretty much gapping down every single day besides today, right, for the last couple of days. So this morning, they had a good bounce back day yesterday. They're up close to the high of yesterday. Today, possible continuation. Pre-market does not look great, but this is typical VXRT. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one, guys. See if we can get a possible play here. They got some good volume, 85,000, and up 6%, almost 6% this morning. Let's head down to WIMI. This one here, not looking great pre-market, barely any volume, just cracking 101,000 now. It is up 4.4, but again, pre-market really all over the place. Over the last couple of days, look at this daily, how horrible this has been. We had two really good days here as far as possible plays for this low flow stock. Once it starts dropping like this, it becomes very difficult to anticipate a pop, right? Because you're looking for a possible momentum play here. Wow, look at the pre-market action yesterday. This is scary stuff, guys. You're going in the pre-market, 9:15, 1048 down to 822. I mean, this, you don't want to touch this. You do not want
Chinese
to touch
low
this.
float.
Yeah, you stay away from that. BLNK, this one has been, again, coming up in our gappers list here and there, but the pre-market is horrible. Their daily is horrible. Yesterday's pre-market was horrible. Their action only really had a couple of minutes of a possible play here, and who knows how that actually traded in the 1 minute. Then after that, just becomes a horrible trading stock. So I'm going to skip on this one. This saw some good times a couple of weeks back when we had a couple of pops here, some really good days with some really significant volume. Look at the bottom here. When you have this type of volume, you tend to have some good intraday action. I'm not seeing that today, and I don't expect anything great out of that one. PFE has been one that's been pretty active. Let's remove some of these levels here. We are up 2.8 on it. 1 million shares traded. Some weird action here happening after hours. Did they get any reports or any news, Norm?
They had earnings last night, or they had earnings this morning. Excuse me, earnings this morning, and they beat and they raised their guidance. So it's popping them up this morning.
So definitely want to keep an eye on this one. It's not the best trading stock, but when it does have news and volume, we can get some opportunities out of this one. So let's put PFE here. Keep an eye on this one. Let's look at OPK. This one, it is up 2% at the moment. It is a lower price stock sitting at $2 here. It is not a low flow, sitting at 403 million shares flow. But again, there's something about this really large flow stocks that are lower price. Their intraday action is not as great. I'm not sure if you have noticed that before in the past, but look at this here yesterday. Again, you have some pretty decent volume, and just look at the trading. Again, not as clean as you would like to see. You got some good opportunities here heading from towards close towards the low of the day into the high of the day and higher high of the pre-market. So you do have some opportunities, but for the most part, these stocks don't trade all that well. Yesterday seems to be the exception on the days that are pretty clean. You had a couple of those here. For the most part, very choppy stock. So pre-market's not looking great neither. We do have 292, but again, just look at the action. As we used to mention, we want to see that nice flow in the pre-market, right? I'm sure it probably, let's see if AMD has that today. Let's take a look at that one. No, AMD is very choppy today. Wow. All right. And low on volume as well. But I do like AMD's daily. They've been having a lot of momentum. I'm going to throw it on here because I think this is a stock that's going to be pretty active for the next couple of days coming up.
If you weren't going to look at it, I was going to point it out.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a stock that, even though it's not gapping up or down, even though the pre-market looks horrible, it's one that we can expect a lot of activity over the next coming days. NOV, let's look at what's gapping down today. First one leading the way here, down 22%. Pre-market action not looking all that great. We are getting some pretty good volume here, though, for the most part. Huge day yesterday. Horrible daily chart besides what we saw yesterday here. Look at this. Doesn't look great at all. No volume. It is not a low flow stock, sitting at 37. Norm, are you aware of anything going on with this one? I mean, it's not the best looking stock, and normally you would not look at something like this.
No, generally not. It's a biotech. It's got some joint development deal with a couple of university in Japan. It's just it not looking great, man. Yes, it's popping up. It moved huge, I guess, yesterday. I'm just not. Doesn't look like anything I want to touch.
Yeah. So again, down quite a bit, 21% this morning. Just not sure how this is going to react. I mean, there's not much to go on. It had a big day yesterday, but if you look at this daily here, this is something we would never keep on our watch list. So I'm going to stay away from it, guys. Let's look at AG. Again, this is silver, so not anything that we actually keep on our watch list. TSM, again, having a couple of pretty good days here. I do like the daily chart right now on this one. Possible drop. Again, they've been having higher than usual volume, right? It's a lot of eyes on this one. So you're not getting the choppiness that you get normally on a foreign stock like this one. You see this here. Look how choppy this is. Every day is gapping up or down. Here you're getting some movement, and now we're dancing with this 80.44, which is the low of yesterday after a nice big 2-day gap here. Are we heading back down here? Is the fun over for TSM? So I think it's worth watching. I think this is the only time frame that I think yesterday and today is the only time that we actually put TSM on our watch list. We usually skip it, but this is not your regular trading on it. So some good opportunities can come out of that. INO on the list here. This one, 189 right now. Pre-market's not looking all that great. Their daily looks interesting. We lost this consolidation area over here between 27 and 25. We are now down over around 20 or so, which is a great support for this stock. The few times that we have dipped below that, you can see we bounced right back up. So good area of support here. Pre-market's looking a little bit light. I want to keep this one on deck because, again, it is a very active stock. We've seen how great this can be, especially if we have some increase in volume and action here towards this support area. Let's look over at NEO. NEO this morning also down 2.2, 872, which is typical volume for NEO here. Pre-market's not looking great, guys. We obviously seen a lot better from this company. Dailies has kind of stuck within this consolidation area between the highs and lows of the last two trading days. So I'm not seeing anything great as far as the daily chart. But again, we'll keep it on here. It's a stock that's very active. We'll see if things get better, if it's going to have any type of direction. Let's take a look at how it has been trading over the last couple of days. Yesterday was a great short, actually. Very quiet pre-market action, but turned out to be a pretty nice short here, losing the low of the day. And then you can see here had the beautiful drop, losing the moving averages VWAP all the way down to 11.25. So it's pretty decent. All right, guys. Norm, what do you like this morning?
I've got a few, man.
Yeah, let's go.
McDonald's reported earnings. There are interesting pre-market action, down 1.1%. Decent volume for McDonald's this time. MCD is the ticker there.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Roku's daily is still setting up.
Yeah.
So
yes.
I'm watching that. We're getting more stay-at-home orders. This could be interesting. I already mentioned AMD. KODK, Kodak.
DK.
KODK. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is a low float. This is Eastman Kodak. Used to not be a tiny company, but obviously when you stick with the physical film that probably half our audience has never even seen or used in their life, that gets killed. But they got awarded some money for coronavirus help yesterday. So that's popping huge. It's not, I don't know that I'll keep this on my list. I'm on the fence. Like I said, it's a low float. I don't know what TI has. FinViz has it just over 8 million. It's not shortable because the price was under $5 previously. So, I'm on the fence. But if you're looking at low floats, that's it's got the volume, it's got the move, it's nice and clean.
Yeah, this is definitely the one for today. And we have had some, when this thing is active, we have had some pretty good trading. I remember trading these low flow stock before. I think we all had a little piece of that. So yeah, let's keep an eye on this one, guys. Very active this morning. 20 million shares traded so far. All right, great, man. Let's go over to the chat, see what you guys have this morning. Let's start with, who do we have here? Hector. Hector's giving us 3M right now. So they have earnings, low volume right now. Okay, so earnings, but low volume right now. And aside from the low volume, also, this stock is not easy to trade. We looked at it before in the past. Trades very light on volume. Even on earnings, guys, it is a very difficult stock. I mean, we'll throw it here as a possible in case things do get better today. Today could be the day that it does trade well, but for the most part, not a one that I'm a big fan of. Let's look at CCL. We've been checking these cruise lines, but really have not kept them on deck. Again, they have not been trading pretty well. Right now, pre-market action looks pretty crappy. Only 236 shares traded at the moment. Yesterday, nice big drop. Again, it was not on my list yesterday, but hopefully anybody caught this on the scanners. It would have been on a turbo breakdown or something. A big drop here with some good volume. So again, not expected that, but we'll see. We'll see. A possible continuation today. This could be a good possible. Throw that on there. All right, so that's CCL. DKNG, we had this one yesterday. Again, big range yesterday. Nice drop here, and then a little bit of a pop towards the end. Right now, pre-market 159. Their daily is getting, again, extremely choppy here. Not choppy, just consolidating, right? So look at the drop we had, obviously, with some incorrect news causing this $3 drop here. We're bouncing back up. Are we going to stay stuck within this range? 38 and 35 seems to be the area of great support for this stock. So are we heading back up here? What's the plan with DKNG? So worth watching. I think this is another one that's going to be very active as sports continue to open up. The move here that I would love to see, as I was mentioning yesterday, is getting above this resistance area here. But aside from that, you still have some pretty good range in this area, within this range, right? There's a big range here, guys. So let's see what DKNG does today. Let's look at BA. So Bobby's giving us that one. BA at the moment, I love the daily for a possible drop here. If we can lose this level, it's a great area of support here. But again, it also can bounce from here. So I'm not sure. Pre-market though, we've seen a lot better from BA. I'm not sure if there's any news behind it. But again, I agree with you, Bobby. These are all sitting at a good support. I think American Airlines had American Airlines had a drop yesterday? I forgot which airline was it. There was an airline that had a pretty decent drop. But either way, they're all sitting at that support level, just holding it. They don't want to go below that. But again, it's just been creating some pretty choppy situations for the airlines and BA, unfortunately. All right, let's head on down. What else do we have here? FRAN, FRAN here, also popping up 109 up right now, 2.4 million shares traded. So again, you got a nice little pop going here. Let's take a look at what is the flow for this stock. So I'm going to bring over our trade ideas window here. FRNA, the flow is 2.75. So again, pretty low float here, but it is active. If you are looking to play low floats, yeah, really low. If you're looking to play low flows, this is the one. But again, guys, just be very, very careful. What's the other low flow that we had? It was Kodak, right? Kodak. Yeah, go ahead.
Nothing. I was just answering your question, Ed, but you said it before I could.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm gonna move KODK here. This is the one I'll watch today. This is one that we have traded before in the past and actually trades pretty decent. Although it's a low flow style, you kind of manage the risk a little bit better than some of these. This one is taking off nicely, guys. Be careful with this one. At the open, we've seen some pretty good drops. Look at this here, gapping up huge, a nice drop after that. Here at the open, had a big day, and look at the drop after that as well. So just be careful if you're going to be watching this one. All right, what else we have, guys? MEDP. Let's take a look at a few more. MEDP here, no volume right now. Beautiful gap, 12% up, but again, just nothing going on at the moment. Could be one to watch later on today. Let's head down over to space. I see that being thrown out on both chats. Let's take a look at that one. SPCE. Here we go. So at the moment, active 155. Pre-market though, not great. Daily also is kind of just really chopping around here for the most part. So I'm not seeing anything that I like on it right now. Not saying that this cannot put in a good trading day. Let's see what it did yesterday. Had a very rough start and then a beautiful drop here. But again, a very rough, choppy start. So I'm not going to add this one on today, guys. I don't see anything pretty good on this one at the moment. But again, does not mean that we can watch it on the scanners. Yeah.
I was just going to say iBio. You've got a number of people looking at it.
Oh, yeah. Let's take a look at that.
I won't touch it, but...
Yeah, this is down 9.7, guys. 1 million shares traded right now. Again, if this stock has been on our radar, or at least popping up in our chat room quite a bit, so you guys know about the way this stock trades. Like Norm said, I won't watch this one. It's not what fits into my criteria of trading. I think we have some pretty good days here. If you're looking for a possible short, if this thing is going to continue to be weak, great. ABUS was one that was a great continuation of a short. Usually not a stock that we touch, but look how great this has been to the short side over the last couple of days. Yesterday as well, continuation was beautiful after trying to get it going here. So again, can you get that type of action today on IBIO? You can, but again, it's not really the type of trade that I'll be watching this morning. All right, guys, let's do one last one, RTX, and then we'll do INTC. So let's look at RTX first and then INTC. RTX right now, pre-market, guys, not looking great. Their daily also very, very choppy over the last couple of days. Yeah. So again, I'm going to skip on this one for the moment. Let's take a look at INTC. Oops, I clicked on the wrong thing here. Here we go, INTC. All right, there we go. So INTC this morning. INTC is interesting on the daily. We're losing the low for the last 2 trading days here after gapping down big. Yeah, I think this is one you want to keep an eye on, or at least have as a possible. Again, similar to AMD, I think this was going to be very active over the next coming days. I mean, look at the drop continuation yesterday, gapped up, and it just gave it right back towards the low of the previous trading day. And today we're below that. So are we going to continue on this downwards momentum here? We'll do some levels, see if we have been down here before in the past, right around March, or are we going to get some kind of bounce here? So let's see what happens there. All right, let's take a look at our YouTube chat, see if there's anything else that we have not gone over yet. So FRNA, we looked at QCOM, had a good day yesterday. Let's see what they're doing today. Yeah, good day yesterday for QCOM. QCOM is it's a little bit difficult to trade. You can see yesterday it moved up, but again, it did this with no volume. It is very difficult to get in this trade and sit here and watch this happen, right? So again, looks good now after the fact. We're looking at a 5-minute chart. Let's look at a 1 minute. I'll show you what I mean. You have to sit through a lot to be able to get, some of these moves. So not the easiest thing to do if you're looking for, a quick mover. I mean, look at this on the 1 minute. We're just really moving sideways minute after minute here. So again, not the easiest stock to trade. Today, I'm not seeing great volume on it. Very, very light. Their daily is just so choppy here. I'm not sure if it has the strength to get above some of these levels or give you another day like this one. Who knows? All right, let's take a look. What else we have? PFE is on the list already. SOV we don't look at. I believe that's silver. Correct me if I'm wrong. AMD we have on deck. That's good. No, that's probably something else. SHW, let's take a look. No volume on this one, guys. Only 11,000.
I think they were saying AMD has earnings after hours.
After hours.
Yeah,
okay,
I mean, I'm not going to trade based on earnings that are in the future, but it will definitely be on our radar tomorrow.
Yeah,
and not that it can't trade well today. I mean, it has been trading well usually, and you might have some activity heading up to that. I'm not going to form some kind of a bias or conclusion based on something that they haven't reported.
Yeah, and I think even if this stock did not have earnings today, it's going to be active just because overall what it has been doing over the last couple of days. So you could trade this how you would normally watch a stock with no bias, and then tomorrow we'll see what happens. Are they going to pop up or come back down here based on earnings? Again, AMD is going to be in play for a couple of days here, just by the technicals of this chart here, hitting all-time highs and just the way it's been moving lately. All right, last one here, FLGT.
No, it has zero volume, dude.
Oh, nothing happening. I saw your response. Okay, so yeah, big day yesterday, but today nothing happening. And also, again, although it had a big day yesterday, guys, right? This is exciting, right? We missed it. This move is missed already. I don't think we would have caught this move anyway, because look at the volume, 991 for the entire day, and this is the move you make. It just doesn't fall into our criteria. So again, great day yesterday. We unfortunately missed it, but don't be upset, because you would not have caught this move on the way we trade, right? It's not something that would have been in our radar. All right, guys, let's head on over to announcements. We'll come back and dissect this list a little bit further.
All right, guys. So tomorrow night is Jared's webinar on options trading. That's tomorrow night, 8 p.m. in the webinar room. Then next week, we've got John Hiltz talking about trading a single strategy. He is well known in the community for trading either nothing but or almost nothing but his break of high of day strategy, and he's had a lot of success with it. So he's going to be talking about trading just one strategy. That'll be next Wednesday at 8 p.m. in the webinar room. Psychology tonight, Mike B will be talking about his Module 2. That's a 6-part series that he does. So he's in Module 2, the Psychology of Trading. Next week, our in-house psychologist, Dr. Jonathan Katz, will be talking about improving discipline. That's next Tuesday at 8 p.m. in the webinar room. If you guys haven't tried this yet, this is our member trade of the day. Carlos outlined yesterday's trade of the day earlier in the broadcast. So take a screenshot of your best trade, 1 minute, 5 minute, 1 and 5 minute, mark it up, talk about your entries, your exits, why you took the trade, what you were seeing, then tag post it on Twitter, tagging at Bearable Traders, at Mike BBT, at Mike_BBT, and at Norm BBT, and use the hashtag BBT family. We'll select one winner each day that Mike will announce in the closing bell show. That's Monday through Thursday. And then Friday, he will announce in the closing bell show, go over the four winners for that week and pick the winner for the week. The winner for the week will win a $100 Amazon gift card. If you are watching us on YouTube and haven't tried out the chat, use the promo code PREMARKET24 to get a discount off the usual rate of $39. That's 1 week in the room. Doesn't auto-renew or turn into any other kind of membership. Gives you access to the Monday night onboarding class that Carlos does each week live at 8 p.m. So you can give that a shot, see if it's a good fit for you. Also, if you're looking to either become a lifetime member or upgrade your membership to lifetime, use the promo code Rockies40. That'll get you 40% off the lifetime membership. Speaking of the Closing Bell Show, check out their simulcast on YouTube, 3:30 to 4:15 p.m. Eastern. That's Mike, Peter, and Brian talking about trade reviews, market analysis, swing trading, and earnings trades, which will be awesome this week.
Excellent. Thank you, Norm. Okay, guys, let's get to our list here. Let's start with PFE this morning. This one, again, very active, 1.4 million shares traded right now. We do have a nice gap up here, 2%. So again, let's take a look at some levels here. Actually, no, first let's go through, see what we're going to keep, and then we'll do levels. So PFE is definitely one I want to watch. I like the daily on it. AMD giving some back here, getting pretty active right now. So we're starting to see a little bit of some volume coming in here. I like the way this is sitting on the daily because we can come back down here and test this low of yesterday. If we lose that, we got so much room to run here towards the bottom. Again, we have a pretty big pop on the daily. We are extended. Again, I don't want you to have a bias coming in here, but you can see here on the daily how great this level of resistance was here over a couple of months, right? All the way from April after we had a nice little bounce here. This 5840 has been an area where it has not been able to break out of, right? It did that 4 days ago here, and you can see how beautiful that has been, breaking towards the high of the day. Obviously, all-time high here. What's going to happen? Are we going to come back down and build a new range here, or are we going to hold this pre-market lows and head back up? So I think overall AMD is going to be exciting. Again, we got earnings coming out as well after hours, so we're looking forward to that. TSM losing this 8044, guys. I think this one is going to be pretty decent. I normally would not watch this one, but I love the way the daily's setting up here. We do have shares for sure. I think I'm going to keep this one on here as well. Yes, Fabio, we do have VXRT. I skipped it because I was scrolled down here, but VXRT is on my list. The pre-market action tends to be a little bit crappy, but it still gives you a great trading day like it did yesterday. So I'm going to keep it on here. So we have VXRT, PFE, AMD is good. TSM for like the first time or second time is good this morning as well. INO, it's okay. Again, I'm betting on it becoming active at the open. Right now, pre-market action is not calling my attention though. So you know what? Let's bring this down to a possible. We'll see if it gets better a little later. NEO, same thing with NEO. Again, we're not seeing anything great, but I know these two stocks can trade very well, especially if we can lose some of these levels or break through some of these levels, whether up or down. So I'm on the fence on NEO too. I'm going to put NEO down here as well as possible. Let's remove it from here because already what I've seen on VXRT, PFE, AMD, pre-market action as well as the daily so far in these stocks, it looks pretty good. So I like what I'm seeing there. McDonald's possible earnings. They usually have a horrible pre-market possible earnings play here. Horrible pre-market activity, but on earnings they do trade a little bit more decent. So we'll keep that one on there. Roku is our sleeper for today as always, and then we also have INTC. I do like INTC for a main one this morning. I'm gonna move McDonald's back. I'm going to move this one down as a possible, and then let's fine tune our possibles list here. So we have McDonald's, we have NEO, and INO. I think both of these can be really explosive. DKNG, I think is one that can be pretty good today, but I'm going to remove it, guys. I have a feeling that it might be choppy. Again, might not be the case. We'll look for our scanners. CCL, I do like this drop here. We lost this area of support, so I'm going to keep that as a possible. 3M, guys, doesn't trade very clean. I hadn't had any luck trading this one. It's very difficult stock to read the price action. So for that reason, I'm going to remove. And TCOM, still nothing happening here. It's just kind of popped up here, 11%. Pretty flat right now, not doing much, so let's get rid of it. If anything happens there, I'm sure anyone in the chat can throw that back out to us. The two low flows of the day, FRNA is pretty active. FRAN, excuse me. I'm going to remove it from my list because I do like Kodak a lot better. We have traded this one in the past. It trades very well. Some pretty good volume here, up 235%. Just insane. Anybody that was sitting here at $2 a bag holding this for whatever months is pretty happy right now. So hopefully they're taking advantage. Okay, we got a good list. Let's go through it, guys. VXRT. Right now, the highs and lows are creating some pretty good levels for us. We're sitting right at the previous day close here from yesterday. Again, we had a pretty nice gap down, a nice bounce back day for VXRT. So we're just kind of sitting here towards the bottom. The only level I'm going to mark is the opening from yesterday around 1031. Aside from that, guys, you're pretty much covered when it comes to highs and lows. Previous day close, they're very well spaced out here. They're hitting a lot of key areas. Look at the high from yesterday. That 12 is hitting the high for the pre-market today, the high from yesterday, the low from 2 days ago, and also the closing for a couple of days ago, going back to 713. So again, a lot of levels being hit here. 13 also hitting some pretty good levels as well. The low of yesterday also hitting some pretty good levels here. So I think we're pretty much covered when it comes to that. PFE, let's look at the high of the pre-market sitting at 39.52. So we'll mark that down. Right now, the price is sitting right at a decent area, 38.70. I'm going to mark that down. That is the high from a couple of days ago. So I'm going to throw that on there. I think it's a good area of possible resistance or support, depending how this stock is going to move in the next coming minutes. And if you look at the price, the pre-market now, you can see that 38.70 is being respected here as resistance. It broke out of it, came back down, having a tough time, giving some back a little bit now. Let's see when the volume comes in, how that's going to play out at 9:30. Below that, low of the pre-market, pretty much where the high of 2 days ago was. So I'm not going to mark that down. I think this is going to be the most important level here. And then below that, plenty of support, guys. Previous day close, lows from the last 2 trading days that got you covered there. Let's look at AMD. So AMD trying to hold on to this. It lost this level that it had here. I'm going to mark this down because in the pre-market, we tested this so many times. 68.48, 1, 2, 3, 4 times here in the pre-market. Again, with not a whole lot of volume. Volume is starting to get a little bit better now. You can see the candle bodies are becoming a little bit wider, which is nice. We hopefully can get to a nice little flow of things here. Towards the bottom, we have the low from yesterday. I want to zoom in into the 5-minute action here and see if we have any levels, because we don't have anything much here. We're sitting at all-time highs here. Do we have any levels that are significant? Look at the 68.48 going back into the 5-minute for the last 2 days. How well that has been trading there as support and resistance, right? So you got a pretty nice line here. You can see how that's playing out. The low of yesterday, you can see also beautiful support there, here as well, and over here also. In between here, if you zoom in pretty closely around 68.15, draw that line on your charts, and you're going to see there's some areas here. We are seeing some support as well, some pretty good support here on that 68.15. So I'm going to mark that there as a possible support this morning. Here's TSM, continues to take a dive here, guys. So pre-market, this pre-market low at 80.44 was important here. We see that we're losing that now. That was the almost the high before it closed out. The pre-market high a day ago, right on there. So again, that's an important level for it. Let's keep that on there. Pre-market low is going to continue to drop here. So let's let it develop and see what other levels we can add here. Aside from that, the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, previous day close, are all sitting pretty well here for you as far as support and resistance. We need something in between here. This is a big drop. So let's see how the pre-market low is going to develop itself, and we can start putting some levels for it here. MCD, we have this one as a possible, so I'm going to bring it down. I forgot to delete it from here. Here's Roku, guys. Again, what we like about Roku, we want to keep a close eye on it, is this level of resistance here. This previous day close is this line that has been the high for many days over the last 4 weeks or so. The play here will be hopefully a breakout to get some people moving here and get some stuff heading towards the upside will be great. And we've seen Roku do this before, where we'll consolidate for over a couple of days, couple of weeks, and then you get a beautiful nice explosion, and you're going to have the volume to back it up. So looking forward to that. We had that here, if you guys remember that. This was a much shorter consolidation, just a about 4-3 days. And look at the beautiful pop here with some significant volume. So we'll be keeping a close eye on this one. We got some levels, 159.21 and 163.30 are great towards the bottom, lows of the last 2 trading days. And you also have 141.88 and also 135.93. Again, I don't think it's going to be heading towards these levels. We're looking for this one to head towards the top here. Here's INTC. At the moment, we're losing the low from the last 2 trading days after a huge gap down. So our low of our pre-market right now is sitting at 49.10. I'm going to mark that down. Let's head over to the left. Last time we were down here was back in March after obviously the market crash that we had for the coronavirus there. 43.65 is the lowest point that we had during this time frame. Now, look how choppy this daily chart is. It's really all over the place. I'm going to look at some possible points again in here. We do have a 47.81. What I like about this one is you have several days opening and closing right around that area. So if we dig into the intraday play here, you're going to see probably some good levels being touched at that 47.81. So I'm going to keep that on there. Again, not the best level, but I guarantee there's going to be some movement around there if we do get to that area. Below that, we do have a better one here, also much cleaner, 45.93. You have several areas, several days using that as support. They do dip below it here at 43.65, but for the most part, these 4 days, 6 days here, they all held this 45.93 very nicely before starting to recover on the way back up. So INTC is great, guys. Let's see what it does at the open. Again, I'm shocked that it has lost this support here. I thought this thing was going to consolidate and go sideways before not heading any lower. But again, we'll see how bad this news is going to affect this stock after AMD's been taking the lead from them here. All right, that is what we have. Let's take a look at what our moderators have for us this morning. So let's pop over here. Let's see what we have. All right, so here we go. We have Peter is in. He has PFE. AMD as his main watch list. His possibles list is VXRT, 3M, SPPI, and CODK. Again, that's the low flow of the day right now. We have Mike with his main list, BHOD, BLOB. These are 2 new ones I have not looked at. Let's take a look at what we have there. So he has BHOD. Is that it? Is that a sticker here? Oh, I think it's break of high of the day and break of low of the day. Oh, okay. That's what that is. Okay, excuse me. All right, so he has that, and he has Roku, and he also has PFE as well. Jared's list, he has PFE, MO, MCD, Silver, SLV, and also TSM this morning on his list. All right, John, he has Apple, Roku, and also that's his main list. So Tiffany, she doesn't have a main list right now, but her pending list, her possibles list is going to be Roku this morning. So Roku, guys, is the sleeper. Again, I think the daily looks amazing on it. Looking forward to see how that is going to play out. All right, the rest of the moderators are pending. As I put the list in here, it will populate here in a couple of minutes. So we'll see if we can, let me see if I get some more on there. Oh, Norm's list. He has PFE, AMD, mRNA. Let's take a look at mRNA, guys. Let's see what's going on there. We did not look at that one this morning, and that one has been pretty active. So right now, mRNA, again, we got some pretty decent volume here every day. Yesterday, you had a beautiful drop on mRNA. So every day, mRNA is doing some stuff here. So let me add mRNA to our list. mRNA as a possible. I think that's a good one as well. We'll keep an eye on that one. All right, going back to our list here, let's look at Norm. So mRNA, Roku, of course, McDonald's, MCD, and TSM. Again, TSM is one that I also have on my list. We normally do not put this on there. Guys, it is a foreign stock, doesn't trade very well. But man, TSM today is looking really, really good. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining the pre-market show. We appreciate you guys being with us this morning. We are going to continue fine-tuning our list and preparing in the chat room. So if you guys have not tried us out, definitely check out our trial that we have, a pre-market 24. You get a discount for doing the trial, and check us out. See if this room is a fit for you. Either way, thanks for joining us this morning. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and support the channel, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.